Alright. You guys like my new earrings? It's colorful, right? I know. Alright, I want to talk about something that might, well, let's just say it might resonate with a lot of people who get bullied and picked on when they were kids. Especially also poor homeless people too. They was born into a world that they didn't choose, that they have no control over, and that this thing that they have no control over is causing them to think that their life, they can't create a new life, or like there is no such thing as, hey, there's a future that I can build, or great things that can happen for me, but that seemed too impossible, right? So what ended up happening is they stop believing that it can happen, so they stop taking this necessary step to get there. So let's say if you were born in the world, some are, some aren't, that you didn't choose to be born in that world, and you didn't have a choice in the matter. You didn't have a choice of becoming the thing that you wanted to become. You had a hope, you had dreams that you wanted, probably when you were a kid, or probably not. And that the time in your head, the stories, the memories, the things that happen in your life, it's in your head. And it's hard sometimes to believe that actually good things can happen for me, but how can it? So let me tell you a story back in middle school. So if for those guys out there, whatever tough means to them anyway, because I was looking up a word for toxic masculinity, but I'll probably talk about that later. So back in middle school, probably 8th grade, right? 8th grade, I start acting tough, or try to be tough. There's probably a reason for it. Anywhere I go, I will give people the death glare. I call it the death glare. Go. Or like, what you want? Oh yeah, you think you can beat me up? Come on, let's go. So, and then it was stupid. I remember there was a Spanish kid, really short, and we got into a fight, and it was stupid. Because we was like, oh, you can't fight, and go back and forth. And I realized something. Maybe when I tried to be tough, or like be tough, or put on persona in middle school, maybe I did it so I won't get picked on. Maybe that's so many of the people who, whether, because I listened to the interview that talked about Michael J. White, it makes sense, right? Because I'm a sensitive person, and so probably my toughness is like armor, so I built the armor, right? So if anybody picked on me, I just like, what, you want to fight? Something like that, right? But then I remember something that annoys the heck out of me, right? And that would be back in trade school. It's only when you don't when you try not to be tough, and you just like relax and be soft, or whatever that guy's in term mean anyway, that you don't feel like it. In my head, I was like, why do I have to deal with this situation? Why? When I'm not tough, when I'm not like trying to like do anything like a fight or anything, why does this happen? So I remember there's many times that this happened, but I remember very clearly. I was in a class, driving class. Cool teacher. Funny teacher too, I love him. But he let me slide with anything, okay? So my friend was in there. My ex was in there. Matter of fact, we were sitting next with each other, and I was having fun talking to her. Anyway, knowing me, I get tired, right? Get really tired. Shouldn't have done this, but he let me anyway. That's cool. So I didn't pay attention in class, so I was sleeping. I was dozing off. I was like, so I sleep on the table, but I guess the teacher didn't say anything. I guess people saw, and there was this kid next to me, right? And he was picking on me. And I was like, oh my god, not this again. Why I need to be picked on every time I'm not trying to act tough? So he picked on me, or I don't know why he picked on me, but I was like, bro, it's when you don't want to get picked on, you get picked on, and when you try to act tough, they don't pick on you. What the no damn sense. So for the homeless people, look, I get it. You have a lot of pain. You have a lot of things that happened to you when you were little. But it's time that you let that thing try to build a new life. Try to see a new way of thinking. That your life can change if you let it. That if you let, like, you can change the world. Not change the world. You don't need to change the world. You can change your world if you want your life to be better. Most people hope their life to be better. Most people say that they want their life to be better, and so they don't build it. And it's always a constant. So there's this outer world that tells you you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, that because of the event and the circumstances happen, they tell you all these things. And so you start to believe that in your mind. But there's another world that society, the outer world don't tell you, that in essence, you're very powerful. Now you might not believe it, but because you have not tapped into it, there is a world that is very real. Now, most people think it's crazy, but it's not. That if you keep tapping into this world, and you keep drawing you can draw a dream life that you want, and you keep building that momentum, it will one day be your dream life, if you let it. But because of conditioning and society conditioning tell you that you're powerless and that you have no control over your whatever, but what you have is control over your mind, your thoughts, your thinking. So I believe that there is hope if you choose to, that there is a way that if you choose to, that there is something that you can work on, but if only you start with yourself, that you take control your life back, and you start doing something to the pain that you have. If that's not your mission right now, but your pain can serve many people, but not right now. So I believe that all of our future, all of your future can happen if you start believing that it can. If you start believing in yourself again, that you're not dumb as society tell you, that you're a matter of fact, you know that you're intelligent, you know things that most average people don't know, you know things that even the intelligent people don't know, because you tell me these things. But it's up to you to do that. And it's, unless you want to be a homeless for all your life, and you will die regretting the things that you could have done, you will begin to hate your life, and you don't want to do that. And you can begin the journey of the process, the thinking, the thoughts that, hey, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And what ends up happening is you start to believe it. How about that? You can do this. Let's go. Let's go.